going to take unit number 6, that is boundary layer theory. I have divided this unit into 3 sections. In the first section, we are going to see the formation of boundary layer, the reason behind it, as well as the terms involved under that, and numericals based on the boundary layer theory. In the second part, we are going to take lift and drag forces acting on the body due to the shear stress developed because of the boundary layer and the numericals based on it. In the last part, that is boundary layer separation and the methods to control this separation, as well as the numericals based on this separation of the boundary layer. Now let us start with the first section, that is the formation of boundary layer. If you see in the figure, there is a solid body and that body is in stationary condition. There is free stream of air or any fluid is flowing over that stationary body, solid body. Now, when this fluid is striking to that solid body, then the velocity suddenly becomes 0 at the edge of the solid body. And this condition, as you know, that it is called as a no slip condition. So, along the edge of the solid body, the velocity of the fluid because of no slip condition is also 0, as the solid body is in stationary condition. Now, as you move along the y direction, then you will see that the velocity is going on increasing in y direction. This is because of the Newton's law of viscosity, which we have already studied in the first unit. If you see the profile of the velocity slowly or gradually goes on increasing in y direction, and the region between this zero velocity to the maximum velocity, that is nothing but this free stream velocity, the region behind these two is nothing but it is called as a boundary layer. Now our main focus is to study about this boundary layer and about the velocity variation in this boundary layer. As we know from the Newton's law of viscosity, that whenever there is a velocity gradient across the fluid, there is the formation of shear stress, which is nothing but the retardation force which retards the fluid, and that force is called as a drag force. Now let us understand the terms involved in this boundary layer, such as boundary layer thickness, displacement thickness, momentum thickness and energy thickness. First of all, you should understand the concept of boundary layer very well. First of all, let it be clear that the boundary layer is an unavoidable phenomenon. Means there is not a single example in the world that where there is no boundary layer. Boundary layer is an inherent phenomenon associated with any type of solid body. So it is always there. So we can't avoid the boundary layer formation. Boundary layer formation will be there. Only we can have some methods to deal with that. So first, as we have studied that this boundary layer is formed between the zero velocity and maximum velocity in the previous figure. Now if you see in this slide that the boundary layer which is formed over the flat a thickness delta as shown in figure. Now, as we see in the figure, the delta goes on increasing in horizontal x direction. That means this delta is a function of x, and this delta is nothing but it is called as the boundary layer thickness. Now, by the definition, it is nothing but the distance from the boundary of a solid body measured in y direction to the point where the velocity of the fluid is approximately equal to 0.99 times the free stream velocity. That means near about equal to the maximum velocity of. So in the figure, delta represents the boundary layer thickness, and as you see, this boundary layer thickness is a function of x. So as x goes on increasing in horizontal direction, as you go along the length of the plate, the boundary layer thickness also goes on increasing. Now, as we have studied that the velocity variation in y direction is a parabolic curve, and the nature of the velocity profile is shown in the slide in front of you. It is u by capital U, that is free stream velocity, is equal to 2 into y by delta minus y by delta square. So the velocity profile is of this form, or the equation is of parabolic nature. In the next slide, you see that as the boundary layer goes on increasing along the length of the plate, depending upon that, the layer is classified into three types, like we have classified the laminar flow, transitional flow and turbulent flow. So here also, when the velocity is less in initial condition, then the layer, that is the boundary layer, is called as a laminar boundary layer. As further you go on along the length of the plate, the velocity goes on increasing, so that layer becomes the transitional boundary layer, and the last layer where the velocity is maximum, that is nothing but your turbulent boundary layer. And one more region is there which is occurring in turbulent boundary layer but very close to the plate boundary of the solid, that behaves like a laminar one because their velocity variation is in laminar region. So these four regions are there for any boundary layer formation. So let us study the terms involved under this boundary layer theory. Now I have told you already that this boundary layer gives you the velocity variation across y direction, and as far as there is velocity variation, there is a shear stress developed across that region, and this shear stress is nothing but the drag force. What do you mean by drag force? That we will see soon, but let me tell you that this shear stress is nothing but it is the force exerted by that fluid on the solid body, or it is the plate, stationary plate. Now because of this, there is the opposition to the forward motion of the plate, and that force is called as a drag force. Now let us study what do you mean by the different terms inside this boundary layer. So first of all, because of this drag, or because of this opposition to the motion, the reduction in the mass, momentum and energy happens as we all see that the velocity is varying from 0 to maximum velocity. So as if there is no plate, then the velocity would have been only u, capital U. But now because of the interception of the plate to the free stream velocity or free stream of air, the velocity has reduced from capital U to the normal value or small u. So This variation of velocity gives you the reduction in mass or in the mass flow rate, and that difference between the actual mass and the maximum mass which could have been obtained without boundary layer, that difference is known as the displacement thickness. So let us study the different terms involved in this boundary layer. As I have already told you that due to the formation of boundary layer, there is a reduction in mass flow rate, momentum and kinetic energy of the flowing fluid. Depending upon this, the boundary layer thickness can be measured in terms of displacement thickness, that is reduction in mass, momentum thickness, reduction in momentum, and reduction in energy, that is called as energy thickness. So the concept is very simple. If there is no boundary layer, then the energy, then the mass, momentum and energy which you are going to get, it is maximum. But because of the boundary layer, there is a reduction in mass, momentum and energy, and whatever is the reduction, that is calculated in terms of some thickness, and that thickness are nothing but in terms of mass it is given as displacement thickness, in terms of momentum it is said as a momentum thickness, and in case of energy it is called as a energy thickness. So let us define this displacement thickness, momentum thickness and energy thickness. Displacement thickness, it is nothing but the distance measured perpendicular to the boundary of the solid body by which boundary should be displaced to compensate for the reduction in mass flow rate for a flowing fluid due to formation of the boundary. Already I have discussed that because of boundary layer, the mass flow has reduced, and that reduction in the mass flow rate is given by the displacement thickness, and there is the continuity equation used for finding this displacement thickness. So we have not taken it in detail, but let us only see the formula to calculate the displacement thickness. So the displacement thickness, it is generally denoted by delta star, and it is calculated by the integration of 1 minus small u by capital U into dy from 0 to delta. So this formula you have to remember because it is required in the numericals also. The second case, momentum thickness, already it is also defined as the distance measured perpendicular to the boundary of the solid body by which the boundary should be displaced to compensate for the reduction in momentum of the flowing fluid due to formation of boundary layer. Now again, by balancing the momentum equation, that is the Newton's second law of motion, that is theta is equal to from integration from 0 to delta u small u upon capital U into 1 minus small u by capital U into dy. So this formula also we have to remember. The third quantity, that is called as the energy thickness, which is denoted by delta star star, and it is again defined as the distance measured perpendicular to the boundary of the solid body by which boundary should be displaced to compensate for the reduction in kinetic energy, and the formula for that, it is in front of you. Delta double star is equal to 0 to delta small u by capital U into bracket 1 minus small u square upon capital U square into dy. Friends, I request all of you to please remember this formula for displacement thickness, momentum thickness and energy thickness, because in the exam you are having one numerical to calculate all these terms for boundary layer theory. So let us see some numerical based on this three thickness.